Hey guys, welcome to How to Be Fancy. This week's video is going to be all about how I did my hair. Obviously it's a little bit different than what I had before. I wanted to go back to the bright neon colors and just get rid of the dark roots that had developed. For about the past 6 weeks I have been not using any sort of hair dye in my conditioner or any sort of touch-ups or anything like that, just washing my hair like I normally would, maybe even a little bit more, to kind of help fade the color a little bit so that it would be easier when I went to do a complete change on the hair. I figured that would be a little bit more gentle than trying to strip out a bunch of color. So keeping that in mind, the first thing that I did was to wash and dry my hair. Now, I normally wouldn't do this, but I thought I would try it for this video because sometimes I have a hard time with bleach taking in my hair, particularly around the my hairline. Basically, I have a hard time getting that to lift, and so I thought I would try it on a fresh, clean canvas. After doing that, I started to bleach my hair. I just mixed up equal parts of bleach and 30 volume developer. You can use any that you want. I'm using this bleach from Sally. I've also had really good luck with the Ion brand. I like both of them, and I found that they both get pretty equal results. I get the giant tub because, let's face it, this is gonna have to be maintained, so you might as well just go ahead and have some bleach on hand for those roots. Now, it might be a good idea, and I wish I had done this, if you have a darker color kind of more on the mid-lengths of your hair, it might be better to go ahead and apply the bleach there first. Because that's the most fragile part of my hair though, I didn't want to do that, and also, like I mentioned, the hairline situation I have a hard time with. So I just went ahead and started at the root and brushed that through, kind of letting it taper off toward the ends because I really was trying to avoid getting bleach on the driest part of my hair, which is the ends. And I actually used just a little bit of jojoba oil on some areas that were extra dry to keep the bleach from really stripping it. So once that is completely saturated throughout the hair, I left that on for about 15-16 minutes. And then I went and rinsed it out. When I rinsed it out, I noticed that a few little bits right in the middle, you can see as I'm kind of combing this out, were just a little too dark. I was afraid that they would kind of show through the color that I wanted to add. And so I took just a tiny bit more bleach, went right around those mid-lengths, left it on for maybe 6 minutes, rinsed that out, and then continued on with the drying of the hair process. Now, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with my hair color. I know that seems crazy, but I had kind of a vague idea, and I had ordered some colors that I wanted to try, but I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to work it out. But so I just kind of started mixing the colors that I wanted to use in a bowl. Now, this is the Arctic Fox hair color. I've never tried this before, but I followed them on Instagram and have seen some really good results, so I wanted to give them a shot. And the consistency of this, you can kind of see, is a cream formula. It's not quite as thick as something like, say, Manic Panic, but it's a little bit more like your traditional hair color, whereas Adore, which is the other color that I use, is definitely a full-on liquid that is best used when mixed with something. I also got the mixing medium in the Arctic Fox color, and I have to say it worked great. I don't know what the difference would be. I'm interested to see what the difference is using just a sulfate-free conditioner versus their mixing medium, but this worked out great for me. I'll leave a link down below so that you can find all of the colors that I used so that there's no questions of what I used. But once I got that all mixed up, I just kind of sectioned off my hair and went to town. I thought I wanted more of a pink root because I feel like that just would be more flattering around your face. I don't know, versus doing it the reverse way and having the orange closer to the root. I could have easily used the neon yellow at the root, but again, I thought that would be weird as it grew out. So I went ahead and just applied some of the neon yellow to the bottoms of the hair where the color had been completely removed. So just mainly around the face area, just some of these little shorter layers, I did a few little pieces of yellow. Now, this is really extremely difficult to do on yourself, getting the color to blend in and on your hair and not missing spots, I have to say it's extremely hard. So kudos to you if you do your own hair. You understand and feel the pain of doing your own hair. Using about 1 to 2 inch section, very thin sections also, to make sure that the color is saturated all the way through. I put the pink at the roots, and then I would just dab some orange right in the middle and then really use my fingers to blend all of this in. Unfortunately, my gloves have gone missing and I didn't think to buy new ones, so I just ended up with really pink, orange, corally hands, which is lovely. I didn't want any sort of harsh color lines. You know, I didn't want to do pink and then orange and then yellow. I wanted it to kind of melt in together, so that's kind of what I did, just really working that in with my fingers, rubbing it together, blending the colors together so that there's no definitive line around my head. Essentially, just saturate your entire head in color, and then once you've done that, I left that on for about an hour and a half. This is a vegan dye. There's no developer in it, there's nothing harmful in it, so you can leave it on really as long as you want or need to, but I found that this color takes really quickly, so after an hour I knew that it was ready to be rinsed out. Side note, I do have to say that the boy came home around this time and he walked in and was like, oh my gosh, it smells like fruit in here, because the hair dye smells so sweet and like fruit, and kind of makes you want to eat it a little bit, but don't do that. And this is pretty much the final result. Of course, I have styled it, but I didn't have too significant of damage to my hair. Mainly just previous damage that I already had is still there. Obviously I need a haircut, but no new damage. There are a few little places that are a little bit darker. There's a little spot right here that's a little bit darker, but I feel like overall it blended in really well. I didn't have too much trouble with the color at all. It just does take some time. It took about 6 hours total from the washing and bleaching process all the way through to the washing and drying at the end. A couple of notes about the color. This color is fantastic. It's probably one of the best neons that I've ever used. I imagine the neon yellow, if you have white blonde hair, you would get incredible results with this. Obviously, I didn't need to go full on white because the colors I'm using are a little bit more saturated, so you don't always need to take it all the way to that white state. But the whiter your hair is when you go to bleach it, then when you add the color onto it, the more true to tone it will be. Normally when I color my hair a crazy color, my shower just turns that color because there's so much in the water that washes down that it just kind of stains everything. This didn't stain hardly any at all. In fact, I barely got any color on my little hair coloring towel that I use. So I have to say that was really impressive. I've never had that experience with a hair dye before, particularly vegetable dyes and unnatural colors. So if you're interested in Arctic Fox, I'd say definitely give it a try. Again, this is I just saw them on Instagram and liked some of the colors that they had, so I thought, hey, I'll give it a shot, and really liked them. So I'll leave that link down below so you can find them. If you have any questions at all, make sure to leave those down below. I'm happy to answer them. I know hair can be a tricky situation, and so I'm here to help as much as I can. Again, I'm not a professional. I just like messing with my hair, but if I can help you at all, I am more than happy to do that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just wanted to give you a quick heads up that on September 16th, I will be doing a live stream with a few fancy ladies. We are going to be reviewing some classic films over the next few months. So if you want to pop over in the live stream on September 16th, we would love to have you. I will leave more information down below when I have it, and I'll also probably be posting a sneaky Instagram, so keep your eyes out for that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Just hit the little box down below and then you will always see any new video that I put out. If you need more How to Be Fancy, you can always find me on Instagram, Snapchat. I'm thinking about doing Periscope. Let me know what you think about that down below, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.